I love how the power structure is always threatening me and stuff, saying, you know, we can come after you. You know, we can set you up. Don't they get it? I know that. I'm here to fight. I'm here to take the republic back. Wanted Ebola screeners at JFK for $19 an hour. How would you like that job with all those West African flights coming in? You know, people dying of vomiting fits, but everything's okay, they say. Meanwhile, the White House has deleted our petition to stop Ebola. That's up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. I want to hear from you on the Ebola front. But what else are they distracting us from right now with the Ebola news? First-time callers, 800. It'll be a free-for-all in the third hour. 800-259-9231. 800-259-9231. And we'll get you up and on the air on this live Monday edition. Speaking of the White House, then I'll get back into this article. Secret project created weaponized Ebola in South Africa in the 1980s. The South African government declassified. Oh, but the International Business Times says we're conspiracy theorists for saying it. We're not allowed to link to BBC TV specials. We're not allowed to link to Nova specials about airborne Ebola in the U.S. We're not allowed to be informed. We're not allowed to be smart. We're not allowed to be aggressive. We're not allowed to be unapologetic. We're supposed to just cower and go, you're mainstream media, even though you have a smaller audience than us? Yes, sir. You're mainstream. You're the boss. I'll do what you say. Please don't have the White House run Media Matters with almost no traffic, with admitted White House talking points, come out and call me deranged. Yeah, I'm deranged, waking people up and ringing the alarm bell and warning people like Paul Revere and trying to spur other Paul Reveres to take action. And you're upset about that. There it is, deranged right-wing conspiracy theory. Obama intentionally wants to infect the nation with Ebola. Well, that's what they're doing. And now they've got polls out saying most Americans are saying the same thing. That was from a few weeks ago. White House deletes petition to stop Ebola. I've called for a strike to start this week, for people to build it up right through the week until they shut down those West African flights that Colombia and England and Central South America, Europe, Asian countries have done months ago. Colombia last week and others. But we won't do it. We'll have a $19 an hour person sit there with a thermometer. White House deletes petition to stop Ebola. The White House, over the weekend, deleted a petition demanding President Obama do more to stop the spread of Ebola in the U.S. The Obama administration said the petition, which urged the White House to take proper action to fight Ebola, was removed from whitehouse.gov because it violated the terms of participation. See, used to, you only had to have 10,000, then it was 25,000, then 100,000 for them to officially respond. We got like 1 million or something on the Piers Morgan one, so they responded and said that it wasn't serious. Because they define reality. Remember what Karl Rove said. The petition you are trying to access has been removed from the site under our moderation policy because it is in violation of our terms of participation, the White House stated. While you can't sign the petition, there may be other petitions on We the People on a similar issue that we'd like to add your name to. See, they want to act like they got the idea from petitions when they felt like it to do something. Like, oh, there's a petition to ban guns. Yes, we'll follow that. We'll try to implement that. Or there's a petition to shut down power plants. Or there's a petition to, teach every religion but Christianity in school. We'll be sure and do that. There's a petition to support Michelle telling your kids what to eat. But, oh, there's a petition to deport Piers Morgan because he's involved as a foreign power trying to destroy our Bill of Rights. We're going to ignore that, or we're going to say it's not serious. Well, now they'll just remove it because we use it as a bully pulpit to show how they're not doing their job. Of course, nowhere in the First Amendment does it state citizens can only petition the government for a redress of grievance if they accept terms and conditions written by the White House. Good job, Kit Daniels, making that point. So by removing the petition, it appears the Obama administration is more interested in controlling the narrative surrounding the Ebola pandemic than actually stopping the disease. For one thing, Obama refuses to ban travel from Ebola-struck African countries, despite Marine General John Kelly warning the outbreak in Africa could lead to mass migration into the U.S. of those infected with Ebola seeking treatment. Well, they didn't like the fact that was on our petition. It was that our petition was so hard-hitting, so common sense, so bibliographed, so you just had all the proof in the pudding. That's why they call us conspiracy theorists, because they can't argue with us. Oh, here's a BBC News clip, and here's the links to South African News and the biggest African newspaper with virologists saying they believe this is man-made. A white virologist, by the way. They're always like, oh, that's just a black scientist. We need to listen to them. You know, we're liberals, but, I mean, African scientists saying our government would do something? I mean, they've just been caught hundreds of times in major projects, in tetanus shots and other things, sterilizing African women, or the UN caught giving them HIV and vaccines. That even came out in the BBC years ago. They said it was an accident, though. So, I mean, imagine the Africans not trusting the West and Bill and Melinda Gates that openly talk about how they want to reduce population. I mean, what's wrong with them? They should be more trusting, shouldn't they? Well, our leaders over here control. I don't care what color they are. But in Africa, they're not. They'll go out and tell the truth in many cases. And it just goes on to show how they banned that. And, of course, what did CNN, MSNBC, Media Matters? We were literally rated thousands of percentage points above Media Matters. Thousands and thousands. Thousands as well above MSNBC.com. And the rest are just rising. You know, bigger than Breitbart, WorldNet Daily, all of it. But Breitbart, WorldNet Daily, Drudge Report, Drudge, of course, many, many times, probably 50 times bigger than us on total visits. But the point is they banned him as well. They just basically showed Alexa last week nosediving. Every socialist or communist or globalist site skyrocketing. Every site that isn't completely, you know, socialist. I mean, there's even mild sites like Breitbart that they just basically said don't exist anymore. Well, here's the deal. Our advertisers know they get big responses, and Alexa's internal algorithm that you can subscribe to shows we're exploding. But for the public, they put out that we have basically no visitors now. Of course, internally, Media Matters and MSNBC are imploding right now. So you can go subscribe for pennies, you know, and basically look at Alexa and see their internal numbers. It doesn't matter, though. For everybody else, it's just we don't exist. They announced we don't exist. They announced that we have no viewers or listeners. And so they are God, according to Karl Rove. Remember, under Bush, he told the New York Times they control reality. They are history's actors. And when government makes an announcement, they could claim that England doesn't exist next week, and they would say that was the truth, or that 2 + 2 = 5. They may suspend the laws of gravity. Gravity will still be there, but their acolytes will follow it. So this is a cult. These people are a cult of weirdos who basically get their free paychecks and their free government and corporate jobs and just sit around all day as they defraud everyone and as the economy collapses and as they parasitically shut down the economy they don't control greedily and kill the golden goose. And we sit here and say our kids belong to us and we have a right to defend ourselves and we have a right to petition and we have a... No, you don't. You don't exist. You're a conspiracy theorist. That's our label. Everything you say doesn't matter. Well, the badge of deranged or right-wing or extreme or conspiracy theorist or dangerous is a badge of honor. And so being demonized by you ne'er-do-wells and by you camp followers and by you establishment lackey, sycophant, phony intellectual, grand-fallooning, butt-headed morons is the great certification of victory. So continue to heap the medals upon my chest as we begin to wake up more people. See how delusional you are? You certify us. Pentagon says Ebola strike team does not violate Posse Comitatus. Military argues Posse Comitatus is irrelevant and dangerous. Well, I'm not against the military responding to Ebola, but saying it's irrelevant and dangerous is outrageous, and it's basically been overturned. And that is a big issue, and the military is concerned with it themselves. That's coming up. We're going to continue with your calls here, start going to those in a minute. Also, we have a report by John Bound about the World Health Organization admitting that 12% of people incubated for 42 days, not 21, so that's double. And they can live 70 days in sperm. This is a big deal. So that's coming up right before we talk to Wayne Madsen. Then after Madsen's gone, next hour, I'll get to everybody. Red Diamond. You're on the air from Texas. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. You know, I'm such a racist. I have a flag on my porch. You know, the flag has 13 stripes, 7 red and 6 white. And there's 50 stars on the flag. I look at it every day, and I think about the states. And as far as I'm concerned, I think the states need to, you know, kind of step in and make sure this government of ours that's out of hand doesn't get out of hand. What can we do to pressure our representatives to kind of, you know, make sure that stuff doesn't get out of hand?
Rick Perry could send the state police in to look at manifestos of major airports that have West Africans coming in off connections and do the screening right there just as a stunt to basically point out the feds aren't doing their job. There's stuff you can do like that, or the governors could call Obama out, which Rick Perry's finally done, but he should do it at a press conference and say, look, it's your job, the Fed's job, to keep contagions, enemies foreign and domestic, from getting into the country. This is a federal job to keep contagions out with the Coast Guard and with the Navy and at the ports of entry, which means airports as well under common law and under the Constitution. So that's what they need to do. But again, it's sending Ebola patients to regular hospitals. That's a no-no. Why'd they do that? Why are they doing all these things? Because they want it to spread. Good points. Good to hear from you. John in Canada, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, Alex.
Hey, brother.
First off, I'd like to tell you how pleased I am with a Crystal Quest shower head that I purchased a year ago. Showers feel good.
Well, thank you. Yes, we do. We do sell shower heads, very inexpensive, high quality, that cut out a lot of the fluoride and other things in your showers. It's what I use for my children in my home. But thank you. We basically sell whatever I use and like whenever I think's good. It doesn't mean I always have all the answers, but that's the kind of products we sell. Go ahead. Sorry.
I've got another order coming up through your store shortly. But I want to discuss freedom of speech. I posted your petition to the White House by way of a comment to another website on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
And I challenged all the other contributors to the commentary columns to participate. And I even included a letter to a specific individual whom you know. I won't name him unless you ask me to. And when I woke up earlier this morning, it was all gone, and I'm barred from that Facebook page, and I think that's very hypocritical.
Did Facebook bar you, or did the person's page bar you?
I can't say for sure, but I have contacted the administrators of the page, and I'm not getting any reply.
Well, I'll tell you what happens. Every time something starts going viral, they block it. The White House took our petition down. They put it up Friday. I looked at it Friday night and had like 10,000 signatures. I don't know what it had by yesterday afternoon when we got emails it was down. And they said, we took it down because we don't agree with it, basically. It violates our terms of service. They don't say specifically what it was, that we dare lobby to keep something out of the country that kills 70% of people. AP reports other African countries banned flights and blocked their borders 2 months ago. But we can't do it. Africans can do the common sense thing, but we can't. And it just shows how they flaunt this in our face. Thank you for the information, John, and thank you for the support. Let's talk to Eddie in New York. You're on the air, Eddie. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I wanted to speak about the Ebola situation.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that, especially with the tyranny and stuff that's going on, they're attacking us on all fronts right now. This is a full frontal assault. They can attack us through this Ebola with the medical tyranny. They're attacking us through our borders. They're attacking us with ISIS on the other side of the world. They have us surrounded. And
That's right. The globalists are pulling out all the stops. And I think this is only the beginning. What do you think the next shoe to drop's going to be?
I really don't know. You know, you don't really get all the pieces of the puzzle. We kind of have to sit there and watch what they do and predict what's going to come next.
Globalist social engineers are not just targeting us with propaganda. They are manipulating our genetics. We are being targeted at every level by estrogen mimickers that lower our testosterone and other hormones and natural compounds that the body needs. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic super male vitality formula sourced from powerful organic herbs and then concentrated for maximum potency potency. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose. For a limited time, we are offering 15% off Super Male Vitality at InfoWarsLife.com to introduce you to this powerful supplement. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality. InfoWarsLife.com.